Hi, this is Todd V.
And I'm Erin Ludlow.
And this is another segment for Arts Quest. This segment, we're coming to you from the Uncorked Wine Bar Loft.
Best space ever.
We're going to meet who?
Joseph Close, Canton artist, amazing installation. Check it out.
Let's go meet Joseph.
My name is Joseph Close. I'm an artist born in Columbus, Ohio. I reside in Canton, Ohio, and I have a show up here at the Wee Gallery in Akron, Ohio. I got my start as an artist very, very early on. I hear a lot of artists say this as soon as I can hold a crayon. But mostly when my father would come home from work, after everyone would go to bed, we'd sit around the kitchen table and draw. He taught me perspective drawing and just kind of crude drawing, and I quickly outgrew his teaching, unfortunately, because I think he always wanted to be an artist himself. But circumstances, a war, 3 kids, and mortgage kind of kept him out of that world. So I entered it, and that was the beginning of it. I am a full-time artist. I do a lot of since I can weld and have some equipment that can do some fabrication work. I do a lot of odd jobs to make the rent. But I took the leap, I would say, about 6 years ago. Obviously, it's never an easy one, and it's still not easy. But yeah, that's all I do right now, is art full-time. I work in oils when I'm painting, strictly in oils. I've kind of been moving into this assemblage work in the last year, and it's just a combination of some of my disciplines, which is welding, glass blowing, oil painting, and it's sort of new. I don't have a kind of a grasp on it yet. The work that's at the Wee Gallery right now is what I call, it's another thing that goes back to my childhood, is which we had leftovers, and we didn't waste anything, and the work here is kind of leftovers of pieces that I have done in the past, and I reconfigured them. I don't want to belittle the work at all and say that it's just garbage that I had left over that wasn't good enough for anything else. It spent weeks and weeks and weeks making these pieces here out of parts that I had taken from other pieces, from other shows. As quite frankly, I can't either store the work and or carry it around in its original form. And it's a lot of it's memories of my past. There's a couple particular pieces that really do handle my father and his influence on my life. Another piece that's probably you can see behind me right now is handling sort of a little bit. I don't like to really dig into politics too much, but this piece sort of kind of sprouted from the oil spill in the Gulf. Believe it or not, it's a little strange. There's a white gorilla in the drum, and he's a character from a show I did over the summer. Some of the installation pieces, I totally go into it knowing that it is an object that more than likely is not going to be purchased by an individual and or an institution. I kind of balance this work with some of the sort of, commercial's a bad word, but for me it is anyway. But some of I kind of balance it, but it's more of an expression, and again, I'm in a spot where the work is becoming more impermanent, and I'm liking that. Like I'll take the work apart, and it'll be transformed into something else, and it's more of an expression or a kind of. I equate it to playing music, and you can't really. You can buy an album, you can purchase songs and things of that nature, but I really enjoy just building these large installations. I think it's just a mature way of playing. Like I'm kind of Legos or Lincoln Logs. It's what it is at this point. And then there's, obviously handling some subject matter that kids probably wouldn't care about, but it's still just a larger form of play. And And it's not that I don't care if it sells or if it needs to sell, but I need to do it. Again, a lot of the installation work that I do is a one-time deal. It's like a one-time performance. You say, you know, now you'll recognize, if you follow my work, you'll recognize pieces that will show up and they'll be in a different context. But especially with the work that's here at the WE Gallery, I may disassemble it and store it and reassemble this particular stuff again because I'm so familiar with it. I can take it apart. And since I've worked with it for so long, I know how to put it back together and exactly, because I'm intimate with all the pieces that are in there, even if it looks like a random piece of wood jammed in somewhere. I spent a lot of time with these pieces. I'm very familiar with them, and I just kind of locked it in the memory bank. So I can recreate it. I don't know if I'd want to. I'm not sure yet. But chances are, because two of the bases for these pieces belong to somebody, they're their workbenches, so I need to give them back to them. And he was excited that I told him I didn't cut them up, I didn't change them in any way, I just screwed some things to them and stacked some things. But I think I'm working towards a bigger installation, and maybe this is sort of another prologue maybe of a larger narrative that I'm trying to tell. But yeah, this is maybe a one-time deal. I'll take them apart, pack them up, and knowing me, I'll get all these pieces back, and I'm in love with a lot of these pieces that are in these assemblages. I'll end up doing something with them pretty much immediately because I miss them. I think that I made sort of a decision early on that I would be an artist until I left this earth, and the older I get, the more I'm in love with that idea. I can't wait to get older and more mature and develop it and see what I can come up with.